Like you're focused.
Focused.
Get your eyes on this, okay? All right. Well, welcome everyone to Late Night Restaurant Podcast. It's interesting. I always love saying this, and it's interesting. I get to say it more often now. Dom, we've just been announced last week with Millions of Podcast, which is a company, which is a great name, by the way. Number 4 restaurant podcast in North America. So just throwing it out there. Yeah, it's all because of you, Domenic. It's all because of you.
No credit. Because if I take any credit for this, Jay, that means I got to take credit for all the fuck ups and screw ups. All the screw ups.
Yeah, way to go. So, for all the kids watching, sorry for Dominic's language.
Well,
we don't have a lot of under 18 watching the show, I hope.
No, we'll have to start with a disclaimer, like rated R for restaurants, right? See how I did that, Jay?
Yeah, I saw that. Anyways, we have a great show tonight, and you know what? I'm super excited about this one as well. Dom, have you ever really found a great company that has the most amazing POS systems that are out there? Point of sale systems?
No, I haven't. Do you know one, Jay?
I know one. You suck at that, by the way.
They are really cool because the stuff that comes with their POS is really, really needed by restaurants and food service places. So I like what they do. I think they do a really good job.
I wonder if our guests will allow us to smack talk the other companies.
No, we're not doing that, Jay, because they've been on here.
Sorry, yeah.
Well, I think the cool thing is tech has come a long way. It's coming really, really good. It's the features that are in today's POS systems. If you're a restaurant that hasn't looked at one in a long time because you're afraid to switch or whatever the reason is, the time is now.
Yeah.
The features that are in there are amazing. So it's and they're more affordable than ever. As you know, you probably bought a POS system back in '87 that cost $12,000 or $50,000 or something crazy.
You had to crank it. That's how old I am, Dom. No.
You have to be situated beside a river to power the water wheel.
Yeah, exactly. The water wheel. Anyways, as Dom tries to beat up and make any sense of POS systems, we have a great show tonight with this amazing lady and an amazing company. I've been able to work with them a little bit on some of the summits I've been doing across Western Canada, and they're just a solid company. We're going to learn a lot, but we're going to talk a little shop tonight about what's happening in the industry. We've even got some questions and all that good stuff all lined up. We did our homework a little bit here, which is great. That's what happens when you're number 4 in North America. You got to do homework now, Tom.
That's not like it, Jay. We did homework.
No. So I'm excited about this. And Dom, I'm going to ask you, what are you doing September 8th and 9th in Calgary at the BMO Center? And you can't say food show or expo.
Chief cook and bottle washer.
Yeah. No.
I'm going to be at the dock handing out amazing coffee, standing beside the violin or harp player, one of the two. We haven't decided on what that's going to be, but welcoming the exhibitors to an event that my co-founder Kendrick Fong and I are putting on.
Awesome. It's the next Food Service and Hospitality Expo at Calgary's BMO Center downtown. It's a big show. You know what you need is that, what was that guy's name? It wasn't Sinatra, but it was the other guy who says it was a big show. It's a big show. A lot of speakers, great stuff. Dom's going to wash your car if you pull it up. He's also handing out shoes. He's if you need a wax job on your car, he's there for you.
Remember, I told you don't get to say that. My private waxing events are private, Jay.
Yeah. Well, last time I got knocked out because I want to be a little bit to help you guys with your marketing, and that apparently went down the tube. when I said that you needed a sleepover.
You're just the ambassador, Jay. Keep that position while you got it.
I still tried to spread that rumor that Snoop Dogg is going to be at the next Food Service and Hospitality Expo.
Dog will not be there.
That didn't go well. It didn't go well. Didn't go
Did
well.
you get sued?
I didn't get sued yet. Anyways, let's get started. Let's have this guest in here. Everyone else, we'll see you next. But enjoy the number 4 podcast in North America tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun here. We're going to learn a little bit, talk a little shop. Might squeeze in a little smack talk to the company. I just don't know what it is, Dom. Lately I want to
do that, Chad. You know what? I'm going to say our guest is going to say that they don't want to smack talk anybody.
Yeah, right. I know she does. Look at her. She's like, right? No, not at all. No. Okay. So, okay. We won't. She's nervous. We made her nervous. Way to go. Anyways, let's do the intro. Now, Dom, we're not going to do a quick one because we got some changes coming for the new one that's coming out there. But everyone enjoy this. This is a little bit about, it's only 26 seconds long, about what's coming for next. We'll do this as our intro. And then if I have time, I'll cut and put the new one in there at this time. So I'll have a little pause. And then the new one will come in. There we go.
Hi, Karisa.
Hi.
Karisa.
What an intro.
Did you get all nervous? You're like, oh no, we're gonna smack talk people. No, we would never do that.
Oh, you know what? We don't have to. We just don't have to. We've never done it. We never will.
Good for you. Yeah, there's no reason to, right?
Yeah, Dom. Why would you want to say that? Shouldn't suggest that, Dom.
We don't do that. We're here to lift people up, not put them down. Right, Jay?
That is right. That's what we do on the late night restaurant show. We don't tear down no one.
We lift them up.
Yeah, we lift them up. The odd time we knock them down as well.
That's kind of not cool. But besides that,
other than here's the one thing I still have to say.
You know what, Chris, I'm gonna warn you right now. Jay has a way of unintentionally. I'll apologize for him in advance, of offending our guests sometimes by saying something absolutely ridiculous.
I'm not going to say that tonight, but I do want to say this. Karisa.
There we go. Start.
There we go.
That's good. That's good. You really pronounced my name. That was great.
So, Karisa, I'm going to ask you a question. Now, Square, if you guys went into a golf tournament, which you probably might do,
okay,
you would probably not encourage employees to take pictures of themselves at the golf course and then put it on LinkedIn, right? You wouldn't do that, would you?
I think we have employees that do that. What's the concern? What is that? What's happening?
It's my pet peeve. It's my pet peeve.
What's the concern, Jay?
What's happening at this golf tournament that you don't want those photos on LinkedIn?
I'm okay with Facebook and Instagram, but LinkedIn, it's just.
So you just don't like LinkedIn in general?
No, I love LinkedIn. I'm on there quite a bit, but when I see a corporate we're probably walking down the wrong road here. Here goes all the sponsors, Dom. Here goes all potential sponsors. Anyways, so Karisa, let's get into who you are, what you do, and all the great things. We'll leave the smack talk to the LinkedIn, to that other podcast. It's out there. Tell us a little bit about all the things you do, what you do, company you work for, Square, and we'll get into that. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm Karisa. I've been at Square collectively for almost 11 years.
11?
Before that, I worked in restaurants for years and years and years and years. And so when I started at Square or learned about Square, I thought it was the most remarkable thing that restaurants could get their hands on. We were pretty early to market, so we weren't the most remarkable thing for restaurants to get their hands on at the time. But over the last 11 years, I've been working with our teams to get hardware and software and payments that are perfect for restaurants and will really help them thrive and grow. And it's pretty special to be able to take my past life and the life that I think shaped me into the person that I am today, and bring that into the company that I work for now. And I lead the Canadian sales team. So I'm part of the Canada go-to-market team where we build strategy and figure out what products we need to develop to get into our customers' hands. And I have a team of remarkable people who work day to day with all of our what we call Square sellers. They're the businesses that we work for or we partner with. And they're all so deeply passionate about solving problems. Sometimes I tell them to stop solving so many problems because they spend all day doing that. But it's pretty amazing to be able to hear the stories of the Square sellers that we work with. They tell us so much about why they do what they do, why what they do is different or special. And to work for a company where people are just so open to telling you that, especially in sales, where most people don't want to talk to salespeople, that's pretty special too. And it just speaks to the type of businesses that we work with, or the fact that small business owners are so passionate about what they do. They just can't wait to tell you about everything that matters to them or is important to them. So yeah, that's how I spend all of my time. That's how I spent the last 11 years. And I love it.
What are your sellers? Sorry, for people that might not know, who is that? Who's the seller that is selling Square? It's not. I don't come to Square. I get pointed to somebody else.
No, we call the businesses, like our customers, we call them Square sellers because they're businesses that sell things. And so I will constantly try to remind myself to say customer, but I've been trained in my brain to say Square seller. But our Square sellers are restaurant owners. That's a huge number of our customers. We also have retailers and services and healthcare and beauty salons and nail salons. That's what's really amazing about our product, is that we've built something that really works for any entrepreneur that wants to build something. We have a whole suite of tools that will help them do that.
So Karisa,
That's awesome.
Dom,
I see
Dom,
it a
you
lot.
gonna ask some questions? You gonna ask questions?
Yeah.
You did your
I
homework?
see a lot. When you worked in the restaurant industry.
Oh shit! He is following them.
He wants to go there right away. Okay, yes.
Into it. Trust me.
But without naming names, what were you using in the restaurant? What were you doing there? Sorry, maybe that's the first question. Were you using the POS?
Well, this is gonna date me a bit, but I have worked at places where we did write it down on a piece of paper and we handed that shit to the kitchen and they put it up on the or on the line. I not to date me, but that was part of my life at one time. I've programmed Micros, I've programmed Squirrel, all those legacy big boxy things I've used. That's what I grew up using. So when new tech came out, when I saw Square, I was like, I can't believe this exists. This is no more waiting for a handheld device.
Change, right?
Yeah, I'm not that generation that didn't grow up with computers or cell phones, and then they came out in my late teenage years. So I've had to live through both of that, and so restaurants also saw that transition while I was in them, and that was really, it was game changing for how you operate.
So Karisa, do you notice there's a lot of challenges that are? What are you seeing? First of all, let me go back there. Challenges. Okay, I deal with a ton of restaurants today, and holy smokeroo, there's a ton of challenges out there right now. And I could go down a huge list. Dom's heard me complain about that list big time. And what are you seeing out there in the marketplace right now, especially in the Canadian market, of what's happening when it comes to the challenges?
So I would say challenges are probably the same for restaurants everywhere. Definitely North America. A lot of what they struggle with is going to be the same. Uniquely Canadian, we're going to now struggle with distribution, higher costs. We know that staffing and staff shortages, depending on where you're located in Toronto or Canada, has been a challenge post-COVID. I heard a stat recently that the average for an employee in a restaurant number of days is like 110 post-COVID.
What?
So so the staffing is a challenge, and then how do you train that staff? How do you find ways to retain that staff? That's always going to be a challenge. I think creating memorable customer experiences and really thinking about how do we get customers to come back again and again and again. And then there's going to be always the struggle of online ordering and leveraging on these online ordering applications, but then trying to get your customers to get off of those online applications and interacting with your restaurant first party to save you some of those costs, because we know it's expensive. I think those are also really top of mind challenges right now. I mean, there's a lot.
There's a lot out there. So I'm writing all these all down because I have some questions. So, and Dom, I might have a few components here. Sorry, I agree with you on all of them. What'd you say, Dom?
You're hogging the time, but that's okay.
No, I thought you said you're going to say you're hot. I'm like, it is hot in here.
No,
it's also hot in here. So
it's hot in there. Okay. No, I want to get into this just because it's interesting part. You say staff challenges. So I'm gonna have a little rebuttal. So let's have a little rebuttal here on these.
Yeah,
okay, let's talk about this because one, I hear staff challenges, but I also see the Starbucks of the world. I have a customer actually downstairs today, and they're crushing it within their staff. I think we don't do. There's a couple things, angles, and maybe I'm wrong or right. Here's my opinion.
Okay.
What's that line, Dom? You always tell me I can say. I can respectfully going to. What's the line?
With all due respect.
With all due respect. So, I do have to say this. I think we do a crappy job of positioning ourselves as a great place to work in the industry. I don't think we do. I don't think we train our staff. Sorry, no, I don't think we train our restaurateurs to share how awesome it is to work at their restaurants. No one's taught them, first of all. Okay, so no one said this is how you hire people. It's so different than I wrote 2 articles this past week saying who taught you to write a menu? No one. Who taught you how to do social media? No one. Right? So there's no teaching out there other than great shows like ours. But no, there's a lot of great podcasts out there, and I actually share those podcasts with the restaurants I coach. But I think we do a bad job in that sense. So I almost say, yeah, there's a problem with labor, but I think there's a bigger problem telling how awesome it is to work in restaurants, in some of these restaurants, and because they treat their staff very well when they do get them. Most do, and they always go like, I don't know why they want to work here. Because you don't know, you don't share how awesome it is. You don't tell people. I see, and why I go back to this is during COVID, Starbucks had an employee podcast on Spotify that their employees got on there and told how awesome it was to work at Starbucks. It was phenomenal. Great stories. It was beautiful. So there's that one on the staff. So I agree with you, but I think we can do better. The other thing on cost as well. We had a show recently, one of our online summits that we did with David Hopkins. David came in there and actually showed restaurants how to reduce menu prices on a menu. And the whole room was like, what? Because everyone is like, oh, go up, go up, go up. And he's like, I believe we're at a ceiling right now. Like there's no wiggle room or anything on your pricing on your menu because the overall consumer has not adjusted or accepted the inflation rate of menus yet. Like they're kind of rebuttaling a little bit, or they're questioning it, or
and I can say there was a moment when I worked at a very, very nice place and people came and expected to spend a lot of money, and the burger on that menu was $20. And I remember thinking, who is paying $20 for a burger? And if you can go out today and find a burger for less than $25,
it's hard.
Any burger for $25, I would be shocked. So you're right. It's shifted. We haven't caught up as consumers, but the costs have risen, so that's why they're higher.
And I think that's what they look at is that's the only solution is let's increase menu prices. And Domenic, we've done shows many times before where we say, look at other revenue streams, diversify your business models.
Yep.
And I think
to lower prices too, because it's not always possible, but when it is, it tells your customers that you're working for them, right? Without reducing quality. We don't want to get rid of quality, and we don't want to get rid of service. Those things all have to stay. The experience has to be exceptional. It can't even just be okay anymore. It has to be really good.
And not to plug what we do, but part of that is being more efficient in how you operate. And if you think about getting your time back, yeah, I mean,
100%, because the efficiencies and the savings have to come from those ancillary costs. They have to come from all the other parts of your business where it doesn't impact the customer. So we can't impact their quality. We can't impact their experience. We don't want to take away from the servers and the chefs and the cooks. If anything, we want to elevate their experience as well, right? Because we want them to stay.
That's right.
Back to what, where you started is, 120 days is terrible. It's really
terrible.
is.
It's terrible. It's terrible. And I mean, some of that happens because of seasonality. Some of that might happen because, it's a momentary role, which service it can be that. But a lot of the places that I worked at when I was in the service industry, I stayed for a longer period of time. I liked it. I liked the people I worked with. It felt like a community. They had the right tools and things for me to do well. I felt like I wasn't underwater all of the time, although I still have nightmares about those moments working at places where I'm way under, very underwater. But for myself and my own personal growth, the foundation of growing up working in restaurants, and I started working in restaurants when I was 13 because I lived in a tourist town where you could, and the skills in terms, I was deeply shy. Like, you couldn't look at me without me turning away and pretty much crying because I was so shy. And the restaurant industry just forced me to be comfortable with being in front of people and learning how to multitask and learning how to work through very challenging, stressful moments, and realizing that you can come out the other side, and being part of a community where we're all working towards the same end goal, which is a successful service and happy customers. And that fundamentally changed me, and probably the course and the path of my life was working in restaurants. And there's a lot of good there if the restaurant is set up correctly and they believe that at the core, that's what they're building in people. It is special.
So the other thing you pointed out here was online. So takeout and the online delivery world. We talked about that. It was, we don't really talk a lot about it lately. There's a lot of changes and things coming, I think, in that area. But the other thing I want to ask on that, I want your opinion on this. Do you find a lot of the younger generation likes that because there's less of interaction happening in the culture today? And, like from grocery stores that you can go get your groceries and do it yourself, to Shoppers Drug Mart where you can go do your own, like the self ordering tills, or purchasing your product at a till that you do yourself. I've read right now there's this massive world of anxiety. People are nervous to talk to other people. Do you find a lot of people are like, I don't want to go to a restaurant and talk with people and talk to the server and listen to the story? And this is not our generation. Our generation likes that. They like the interaction. They find it really cool.
Love it. Yes.
They love being taken care of. This younger generation, I don't think it has the same parts on that. And that might be where we raised a lot of them with an iPad in front of their face, right? Yeah. So is that, do you think that's going to continue, or do you think we'll see, like whatever we can do to shift that? I don't know if we can. I think it's going to get less and less, to be honest.
I mean, maybe there's a world where we create a hybrid experience where people are still going to restaurants, but there's like an efficiency piece or something that's happening. And I would like to think it's not going to go away. People still want to connect. I would like to think so. Every time we hear about, AI, automation, tooling, the first thing people often say is like, but what about the connection? What about people with people? I'd like to think that maybe if the younger generation doesn't like that today, they may grow into that. Maybe it's just slower to grow into that. But there is a lot of technology out there that could create that hybrid experience. Like a lot of the tools we create are for faster checkout. that more seamless end point, so that there maybe isn't forced interaction. You know, the, hey, what are you doing tonight? Oh, what are you up to this weekend? I could see that if you weren't overly comfortable with chatter, that forced conversation would maybe feel overwhelming for some folks. Where I just know that's part of it. That's what happens at a restaurant.
Yeah.
So maybe that seamless checkout and some of the new tech that we're creating to streamline that end point could soften the pressure or anxiety that maybe some folks feel around that interaction.
Because there's courses you can take now how to answer a phone.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I know that we think it's funny, but these younger generations, which maybe never really had, were, I wouldn't say forced, but unfortunately had that opportunity to create relationships or meeting people without a swipe or online, you know. So there's a lot of things I think that are taught through that process that we don't see today. So I can see why they get nervous when the server comes up and or does a dance or a birthday dance. Like a birthday dance would kill my daughter.
I couldn't do that as a young person either. Moose Winooski's was my nightmare. In the entirety of the month of December, Moose Winooski's was not allowed. It couldn't happen because I just didn't want a moose. I didn't want a pie in a face, and I didn't want moose antlers on my head. So yeah.
See, Dom's the same way. Dom's the same way. He doesn't like moose antlers on his head either.
What?
Right? You don't like the moose antlers.
For the I'm gonna try and get us back a little bit here. You work with a lot of restaurants, obviously. Like Square's big out there. You're doing something right, obviously.
Yeah. Yes. That's
safe to say.
Yes.
What do you see as the restaurants that are successful? What are they doing right? That's making them successessful. Besides having a good POS system, right? But besides that,
I got an answer, but I'll let you answer that. See, Dom, I'm polite. I'm polite.
Thanks, Jay.
The question was for her, Jay. Yeah.
I'm working on it.
I think there's going to be obviously a number of things. Consistency is one. When you go to a place, you want to know what that experience is going to be like, and you want to know that it's always going to be good, or what kind of service you're going to have. That consistency is important. The attention towards the customer, or understanding that customer's buying habits, or what they're looking for out of an experience, and making sure that your customer first.
That's important, right?
Super important.
Yeah.
Especially today.
And that I think people. Yeah. Would you say? We'll get off really quick here, but on that, do you think restaurants are harnessing that data in any meaningful way, unless they're some big giant corporation?
Yeah, I mean, that's to go on the Square side. That's something we do really, really well, and we've always done really well. We track how you can use our point of sale to track how your customers buy, the frequency in which they buy things. You can track peak periods, low periods, so you're staffing correctly. That repeat visit, you can start understanding your customers and what's important to them. We're a very affordable, everyday product that a small coffee shop can use to really understand their customer and engage their customers through our loyalty and marketing products. But then we also have massive state, like the Saddle Dome in Calgary uses Square point of sale and takes advantage of all of our products so that they can understand their customers and how they buy. Mm-hmm. So
it's really an important piece, right? It really is.
Small new businesses can leverage the same technology that massive stadiums or restaurant groups can leverage to understand their customers and engage with their customers. And that's what's important to us. We want to be a solution for everyone and not something big and expensive that only some can take advantage of. Yeah.
We've talked about that so much on our late night show, in that what you think was sort of the possibilities 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 20 years ago, because that's the last time you looked at your POS system. That landscape has changed so much. And what was available to the 2,000 unit chain is now available to you as a single standalone business.
Exactly.
And times 5,000, right? It's that much better. And there is so many features that you should be taking advantage of, even on that small scale, because that helps you grow.
Yeah.
What can restaurants do to change? What are they, and what aren't they doing quick enough? Maybe is the question too.
Good question. I think restaurants for good reason, or restaurant owners for good reason, they are so busy that it's really hard to stop and reflect on what is or isn't working, or what you have or don't have access to. That's what a lot of new tech unlocks for restaurant owners, is that you can get that time back to reflect on or be creative. Actually, big topic right now is around AI, and a lot of people are afraid of the word AI as a term. And I see it as an opportunity. I use AI every day to give me time back to do creative work or think about doing creative work. It can be I almost call it like my own executive assistant. And it does the things that just take a lot of my time. And it's things that are very repeatable. And instead, it can do that for me, and I can then focus on that creative stuff that AI really can't do for me. And it's that originality, and that's
is Square Corporate listening right now? Are they going to take away your executive assistant?
Yes, please don't, please don't. She's great. She's really helping me. She's giving me time back. Please don't do that. No, and I think that's the thing. Like, when we talk to restaurant owners, part of the conversation is, if we could give you a day back a week, what would you do with that day? You know, what does future growth look like for you? Are you even thinking about that? Do you even have time to think about that? If you could change your menu more often, would you do that? What's stopping you today? And oftentimes it's time, efficiency, and just not having enough of it. And that's where that new technology, that's what it unlocks for restaurant owners.
Yeah. So important. And it's so important that they do those exercises now more than ever, right? Because there's all these other pressures.
Yes.
So we have to embrace the tech and use more of it.
Exactly.
Not only in the POS system, we're talking about that in the actual kitchen. Where can you deploy tech to assist your chef, to put them to better use, right?
I'm still talking to restaurants that don't use KDS. And they are using pieces of paper, and they will tell me it's horrible when the printer jams and then we've lost orders, or it gets really, really busy and a chip falls and we can't find it, or it gets compromised and now we've lost an order. There's a solve for that. KDS is great. Use a kitchen display screen and make your life better. Make the kitchen operate just a little bit more seamlessly, and that in itself is such an unlock, right?
And that's not expensive anymore, right? That's the reality of that, is it's not expensive. I think it's
a price of a tablet, a Samsung tablet or equivalent, an Android tablet, and Square has it first party. So you get that along with our product, and then you get a tablet and off you go.
Wow. So that's like a $200 fix, $100 fix even.
It's pretty cheap. Exactly. Yeah.
Jay, this is one that always bothers me. It's like, go out there, just take, like you said, hey, you had a day, but if you contemplated some of these things for half an hour or an hour or a couple hours, come to a show like the next Food Service Expo.
Dominic's plug. That's called a plug, Domenic.
Shameless plug.
It was actually a good plug. It was good.
They're going to see people like Square there. They're going to see a POS system. They're going to be able to.
He's going all the way with it.
And they're going to talk about how much they cost, because the person, back to Karisa's point, that's been stuck in the kitchen for 10 years because of labor, because of whatever, right? It happens to everybody. When they get out there and they find out that there's another solution out there, it's like it's a light bulb moment that should have happened for them 10 years ago or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So, Chris, I got a couple things here.
Yeah.
I've been writing down, I've been taking notes.
I saw you taking notes. It's good.
I take notes because I also then write about it later on in one of my 6 newsletters. Anyways, I do want to put, here's my plug. I do want to mention this. And Domenic, you said what makes a restaurant successful? Like, that was a question to Karisa. I do want to say this. I really believe this. There's a couple things I believe because, like I said, I work about 31 restaurant groups now. It's training is the number one thing for a success of a restaurant. And we do not see continued training. We see training either onboarding and then that's it. We do not see, and it doesn't mean that the training is how to wash a dish or how to cook a steak and keep repeating that. It's having a training path or a training journey for your business. I don't see ever happening. And then also continuous learning programs within that restaurant business. I don't see that. So I think that also, why I say that, I think that also contributes to the problem we have in labor. Because if you're feeling like someone's investing in you, you're probably going to have less labor turnover, right? Because if you invest in me, I'm going to stay because I love you and all these other good stuff. So I think that is. Now, why is training, this all kind of links together, by the way. Why I think training is important, what makes a restaurant even bigger and more successful, it's the management and leadership. Because I have a group that I work with, and I'll tell you, he's one of the best restaurant managers, young guy, I've ever seen. And that, because one of the things you said also is, Karisa, you said that restaurants are busy, and I more than agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's taking the time to do an R&D day today at our kitchen. He has the time because he's doing all the things properly. He's got the training in place. He's got all these different things in place, and he's with his chef doing a R&D day here. And so when I look at those two kind of things, I think it comes down to leadership. It comes down to training. You're busy because the chaos comes because you're not doing those fundamental things at the beginning, and you wouldn't be that busy. Yeah. Because when I look at when restaurants say, and I always, how's everything going? Oh, we're busy. Yeah, because you don't do leadership training. You don't have a training program. You're all over the ice, and you don't have it planned out in a sense. Or like you said, there's a shameful plug for a squirrel. You don't have squirrel in your restaurant.
It's square.
And,
it's square. It's not squirrel. Yeah,
no,
so close.
I told you what happened.
Jay, there is a word in all of this that you were through your speech, and I think it's intention, being intentional, right? And I mean, I see it with my team and the org that I run. It's, you need to be intentional with everything that you do. You need to have a system or a plan, and then it needs to be so clearly outlined or defined so that anyone who joins your team or your restaurant can follow that exact same system. They know what success means. They know what growth means. And you can show it to them, and you're investing in them because you're investing in them just by having a plan.
Well, you're absolutely right. And, you're more than right. I apologize on the name. Here we go. It was good. It was a good run.
You were doing so well. You
blew it right at the end.
Well,
well, see, Dom, I give credit to other companies than the company we have on the show now. We're flipping the table. Anyways, no, I want to say this is you're absolutely right. And I talk a lot about the napkin plan. And I do napkin training. People are like, what the hell is that? I get operators to write plans down starting with a napkin. Write it on a napkin. Because most management, like, keep in mind, most of the people that are in restaurants that move into like a leadership role or a management role or on their executive team didn't typically go to like a business school to learn a lot of the basics. So I try to get them to train just by writing down a schedule and planning out a lot of things just on a napkin. And then it's more about the theory of simplicity. Sometimes is you do not need all the technology and the fancy stuff, but just get down to the bare minimum of planning and what it means to have a culture of planning and structure strategy and getting through that. I think we need more and more people to be trained on that. But we also need a lot of people to also do some self-training on that, self-development, and to lean into that stuff. Because there's a lot of amazing resources out there right now.
We have a course that's new leader training, both specifically for restaurants and for just as a new leader, because it is. And often
it is.
I think I used to say it a long time ago. I think training, and in the restaurant industry, it's still like that. I call it sink or swim training. If
Yes.
you're thrown into the position, if you're a swimmer or you're going to be able to swim, you're going to do awesome because you're going to get there, or you're just going to be treading water forever, right? So that can happen, or you sink and you fail, not because of maybe your own abilities or inabilities. It's because you didn't have the support that that should have been there for you.
Just had this conversation today, and I believe that it comes down to your leaders. If you've hired a person, you hired them because you believe that they are good for the role that you are hiring for. They have the skills or the experience or their eagerness or willingness to do really well. And then if they don't do well, it's because you didn't show them the path how.
Mm-hmm.
That falls on the leader's shoulders.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Too often we don't. I would always say and I say this to Jay a lot. It is always the manager's fault. It's always the owner's fault. And regardless of what happened, we didn't give you enough tools. We didn't give you the right training. We didn't give you the right equipment. We didn't give you the right leeway to do it. We were too quick to judge. We're too quick to shut you down, right? Yeah. We don't have time to help you with those lessons that 20 years ago, somebody mentored you and put an extra 15 minutes into, the owner every day that I'm now giving the new potential leader, 5 minutes of time.
Yes.
And it's really unfair. And
we should actually be giving them more time. We have the tools. Absolutely. We have the technology to give time back so that we can invest back in people. And when we use the tools correctly and our business is operating well, that extra time can be put back into our people. Our people will create better customer experiences. And then those customers will keep coming back and back and back because they love going there because the restaurant runs well. I know what I'm going to get because it's consistent and predictable, and the service is excellent because they're trained and the machine is running well. And we get that by time.
The owners that system works for them. They get to pay more, and because they're paying more, they've got more retention. Because they've got more retention, they got more customers. All of those things go hand in hand, and they and for people to say it's not possible, we've probably interviewed, I'm going to say 50 people, Jay, if not 150 people, that it is possible. It's possible in tough times. It's possible in easy times. It's possible when labor's
I have talked to thousands of restaurants in my 11 years. It's very possible.
Yeah.
And we have conversations with businesses before they become efficient and before there's intention and they feel like what we're describing, that underwater sinking. And then you talk to them after you get their system set up and things are running well. It's crazy how much a person can change, how their outlook of their business changes just by becoming
Here's one more thing, Jen, then I'll let you say something. Often the change the change that needs to happen is small.
Yeah, I think that's the other problem is that when we talk to people, they say, "Oh, I'm not ready for change. This is going to take too much work. This is too much of a lift." Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be that. It doesn't need to be that you are ripping something out and completely replacing it. In fact, most companies you'll partner with today, we definitely do this, is we'll do it for you. We'll literally come in and we'll set everything up. We'll train your staff and we will remove that entire burden or feeling of change or stress around change. We'll just do it for you. And so you've got that time back. You've got a whole new system. You are now efficient and you're wondering why you didn't do it before. But people love being uncomfortable.
Well, so I'm going to get in there because that's what I want to say. I wrote it down. I did, see. So I wrote it. Well, here's the thing. And I said this because I had a meeting last night and the gentleman goes, "How do you do all this stuff?" And I say, "I like chaos. My mind, you see chaos, I see symphony.
Yeah.
Right. Like I see simplicity. A lot of people see, the very rare people are like that, but I think restaurateurs, and that might come from the days when I used to run restaurants, is chaos felt almost like, I guess there's two levels of chaos, maybe uncontrolled or controlled chaos. Um, I think a lot of restaurateurs, in a way, in a weird way, sometimes like chaos. They like this all over,
Well,
or
no,
whatever the
that's
case is.
fair, right?
What, Tom?
It's what they know.
Yeah.
Well, it's what they know. That's because what you said there is like, let's give them back a day. What the heck are they going to do in that day? Right? They don't know. And I think that leads back to the point when you said that is, well, how much can they take? I met with a group last night or yesterday too in downtown Calgary. And she said to me, and she's just phenomenal. I love working with her. And we went through two things. Like we went through a ton. Like I threw a lot at them. And then she goes, we're just going to do these two things because that's all we can digest. And I said, you're exactly right. Because I used to, when I started working with groups way many years ago, is I would throw, like, I used to print off like binders, Dom. They'd be like this thick of binders. And they'd be like, here you go ahead and start. And they'd be like, oh, great, thanks. Never used.
Binder never opened.
Never opened. But they can only digest less than we think they can even.
Yeah.
They can only take on little tasks. The problem also when you get into little tasks is that the one thing you do have to do is you do have to map it out for them and you have to hold them accountable, right? You have to hold them accountable on those little tasks. If I'm only going to give you two things, and I said this to her, I'm going to give you those two things, but you got homework. I expect it to be done, right? So you have to, because I always say this is our industry is one of the best procrastinating industries there is. We love it. But in a sense, I think, like, what does a restaurant, what am I going to do? What are restaurants going to do? Sit there and go, I'm going to put my feet up? They don't do that.
No, and the thing is, as you say this, and like, tell me someone in a restaurant who's either not the most creative person you've ever met, or one of the most dynamic, outgoing, energetic people you've ever met. And so when I think about time back, you're right. If it's task-based, like, here's your task, this is what needs to be accomplished. But let's imagine this, like, future world where you've kind of got your tasks done, everything's running really well, you've got a great team, you've got your training program all good to go, you've got amazing managers, everything feels really good. Then what do you think about? You think about, wait, am I going to open another one of these? Am I going to? And like, that's when like some interesting creative things start happening. And it's because you were intentional and you had the time back to do the tasks. And then when you completed the tasks, you completed more tasks. And now you have a really good running system. And now you got time back to do creative things.
I think that time, I think it's allocating the time to give that experience too, right? Give a better experiences. I think it was Monty, which I did a thing yesterday with Monty, is that he said the most successful, or it might have been actually Scott. It was actually Scott over in England. Scott said the most successful managers are the ones on the floor.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And that is true.
I think anywhere, right? You name me a business.
Any business.
Business in any industry. The ones that are working and operating really, really well, it's where everyone is in together, interacting with the customers, understanding what's important, creating a better experience. And you can't do that if you're not on the floor. You can't do that if you're not connecting with the customers. Yeah,
and you're not on the floor serving tables. Let's clarify that too, because a lot of them are on the table serving because of labor problems. You need to be on the you need to be on the floor surfing your floor, as we used to say.
Yep.
And I wrote about this other day, and Dom actually read this, is getting in there and saying thank you before they order. Because we say thank you after.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Before they come, thanks for coming.
Right?
For sure.
No one says thank you before. Very rarely.
Yeah.
Right? And I used to train my staff to shake hands. This is like way before COVID. Right? And that was the big thing. I said, shake hands. Kids, women, men, I don't care. Shake their hands and thank them for coming in. And that little thing that we did, because at that time there was like a lot of articles about put your hand on their shoulder. and those kind of things, which we probably all have read. But it was the handshake, and that handshake changed a lot of dynamics, and people were not used to that.
Wow.
And I recommend especially managers, is go in there and be sincere, be authentic we say this on social for social. Well, in person too, be real and be authentic and say thank you. They come in, they sit down, your manager comes over and there's no problems at that time, and thank them for coming in and share maybe something that's unique about the place. Create that experience at the level. But if you're serving tables, you got chaos going on, no training,
Yep.
you haven't taken a leadership course, or you haven't leveraged different technology out there, you're going to scramble. I always say, people always ask me, what causes a restaurant to fail? I said, it's not the menu, it's not the pricing, it's the management.
Mm.
That's what causes a restaurant to fail. It's because all these other things are subjective in a way. But it really comes down to managing that restaurant and running that restaurant. And I have seen it with the folks. There's a guy in this building right now that is one of the most phenomenal restaurateurs I've met. And he is young. And he is like, I've never seen someone like that, other than way back in the day. But that's what I think we have to work on it. But these poor people, like I always say, poor people, like these poor restaurateurs, no one taught them this stuff.
Yep.
No one taught them. No one taught them. No one taught them.
There's lots of cool information available from Square about the industry.
Go back to Square.
They do a lot of they do a lot of research, which is cool, which industry should take advantage of, right?
Yep.
Jay, let's get to quick fire so that we don't. Karisa wants to. She's got a lot of heavy work ahead of her. I know, it's piling up like sand in a sandbox, like just really. It's
that beach is calling.
Oh,
are you referencing the beach? Are you trying to be crafty there, Dom, with your wording and try to relate?
Yeah, he's trying to take what he learned about me earlier and use it against me now.
Yeah, that's a trick he's learning.
It's like there's a big pile, like a sand castle. There.
I'm not much of a sand castler. I'm a go in the water because it's 40 degrees. Come out, turn my brain off.
40 degrees. So like we're complaining about 26 or something, 27.
And keep in mind, you're in Calgary. You have a nice dry heat. It's not humid like here.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing. It
I
really
have to
is.
cut through the air to get outside here.
Yeah,
So.
I've been there. I've been there many times. I know what that heat's like. Ugh. Dom, start off with a rapid fire. You start off, Dom, because I always love when you do things that I build for myself. This will be good.
Karisa,
yep.
Your favorite.
No, just wait. No. See, I'm gonna teach you. You got to line it up. So you have to tell Karisa. You have to say what's on your mind. You can't wait there and go, well, and think about it. This is a quick fire.
Do it, Karisa. First thing that comes to your mind. Don't think just exactly, unless it's a competitor's name, a swear word, something about your mother-in-law or anything like. To keep all that out of it. Okay. Your favorite Square feature that doesn't get enough love?
It is coming from a restaurant background, and because Square does first-party payments and our point of sale, so we do both. You don't have to do an end-of-day batch on your machine. We auto-batch for you, and you don't have to have those little chits that you collect throughout the night, and you don't have to reconcile those with the point of sale readout. That happens automatically. And in the restaurant world, that doesn't get enough love because as a server, I probably aged 20 years in my younger life out of the stress of losing chits from a payment device.
You don't have to I have to get in on this. Wait a second. Time out. You don't have to put that chit on that spike.
No, different. Well, yeah, you wouldn't have to do that if you had a KDS. That's the restaurant. That's KDS. That we don't have to do that. All KDS, you don't have to do that. You just close that out.
What?
But I'm talking about the end of the day, the server has to, they do their end of day cash out.
Yeah.
And they have a pile of the little payment slips that they have.
Yeah.
And then they have to go over to the office where someone's sitting at a computer or whatever, and they reconcile those with their thing. We don't do that. It's automatic. It just auto closes because we do the payments and we do the point of sale, and those two things are together, first party. So cash out with Square is like 10 seconds versus the I don't know how many minutes I used to lose as a human trying to
I
do
was
that.
gonna say, where was that 25 years ago when my
I
staff
know.
got so drunk they couldn't do it?
Correct. I used to work with servers who would lose their chits and they would be in full tears. They're like, I am
Exactly.
outcashed. And
Yeah, I have to pay out. Yeah.
I have to pay out from my tips for this thing.
Next
so that is
question.
it. That's it.
If Square
That
was a
wasn't rapid fire. That was slow burn.
Guys. I'm a yapper. I'm in sales. I'm never going to answer questions.
We call it slow burn now.
If Square was a person, what kind of restaurant would it open? I like that one.
Okay, well, it's obviously like our bread and butter is fast service countertop. Our hardware is pretty nice, so it would have to be some sort of chic-esque,
Oh, chic-esque.
beautiful, I don't know, counter service, lots of customers because we can get through them really quickly with our point of sale. So something esque there, but maybe globally inspired, some sort of street food feeling, innovative. We'll say that.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Funniest or most surprising way you've seen someone use Square?
The most like different, exciting way that I've seen someone use Square.
Yeah. Or surprising.
Oh my
Can't say
gosh.
paperweight.
There's so many ways. People are so interesting with this.
Serious?
People at
Oh yeah. I mean, because anyone can
use
sign
Square?
up. Sorry?
Can people at farmers market use Square?
That was how we started. That was the whole thing.
Serious?
You see people because you can just sign up online and get you. We used to mail you a free device.
Reader. You used to have a little reader that plugged into your headphone jack.
I would say like the coolest memory that I have, which was early days. Someone was using Square point of sale for their business at a event of some kind. It was like a food stand, a food truck, and they had their like 5-year-old kid running the transactions and running the point of sale because it was so easy to use.
Really?
And the kid was loving it. They're like, this is awesome. And it was pretty powerful because like the parent was like making the food and doing all of the hard stuff. And then they've got this awesome kid who's just 5 taking payments because it was cashless and they could just run it that way. So that's a cool memory of like the power of it. Yeah. Simplicity, right?
I'm not saying anything, Dom. I'm not saying anything. I was going to say something.
If Square could invent one totally wild feature, I think we used to have a Square payment we did for training. If Square could invent one totally wild feature tomorrow for restaurants, what would you want it to be?
This is cool. Okay, ready.
Okay,
Maybe you're working on it already.
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. If I'm saying this and I'm spoiling something, I'm so sorry. Please don't fire me. But something around, let's say you had something at a Square customer or a Square business. You get your receipt. On the receipt, there's a QR code of some sort. Scan that, and it sends you on a like walking journey of other Square businesses that you can go and have experiences at in the neighborhood. Because Square, we're all about neighborhoods, all about local, and it's like you go in, you grab a coffee on your receipt. It's like, well, now that you've got your coffee, go next door and check out.
It's very smart because it's a brilliant idea because the business that prints it on their receipt would network with the businesses they want to curate for you as their customer.
We would be doing it all. We would be doing it all for you because we know where all of our businesses are. So we could essentially create that for you.
That idea. Go patent that idea. We won't publish this yet. Get out there. Get the patent office.
Good idea.
It's a brilliant idea.
Yeah. We because we service not just restaurants. Our point of sale is so versatile. That's where you see like a lot of restaurants that are like restaurant retail hybrids use Square and love Square because we do both really well.
Yeah.
And then you've got this omni-channel experience. You've got like in person, online. Like you name it, we can do it, and you can do it all from one platform. So it's really powerful that way.
So I gotta say something on that. So Chris, I'm going to give you a little marketing tip here. I know
Okay.
you're in sales, but I have a marketing idea.
Okay. Well, I mean, sometimes people think sales and marketing are the same, but I can tell you they're not.
They're not all. I agree with you. So Dom, I always tell these companies about marketing tips. No one's ever taken me up on this.
Okay.
But I want to go back to this whole idea around, I think Square could have this whole marketing campaign and this whole thing of you're giving back people a day in the week of their life.
Yep.
And I can see the whole campaign where these restaurateurs are like, I don't know what to do now. Square gave me a whole day back. You can see them sitting there like looking at golf clubs going, I don't even know how to play golf.
This is true because every time I say this, I was actually meeting with a business last week, and I was talking to them about the time back. And I said, our real-time reporting is so phenomenal that you can actually see what's going on in all of your businesses from your phone. You can see real-time reporting and your sales and what items are selling and what customers are in, and you can see it from your phone. And I said, I've had business owners tell me that they've been sitting on a beach somewhere and they're looking at their sales. And that was really powerful. And this restaurant owner said, I don't know the last time I've been to a beach, and what you're talking about is absurd.
Can you see the ads for that? It'd be like walking to a beach going, I don't know what to do. What do I do on a beach?
I've never been to a beach before.
Never been to a beach before, right? Like, what do I do, right? I can see the whole campaign like that.
Yes. And then the flip side is I met with a restaurant owner in Vancouver, and he did this event for us, and he was wearing a like party shirt, the owner of Chickpea, and he's wearing like a Hawaiian party shirt. And I said, like, you've really dressed up for the occasion. He said, I wear these shirts because every day's a vacation. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Oh.
You love working in restaurants so much. And he said, I love it so much that every day is a vacation and I wear the vacation shirt every day.
No way.
That is
cool.
advertisement for restaurant ownership right there.
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, Karisa, we want to thank you for taking the time. And I'm sorry I blew up a whole bunch of things, but
you're pretty good. I mean, you did say my name right. You stumbled a bit, but that's okay.
That's okay.
You did call us Squirrel, but we're Square.
Yeah.
So that Squirrel's also point of sale. So that was tricky.
We're friendly to all.
And you know what? We're friendly. We actually, this is actually different about us. We're actually friendly to all as well. We actually have a nice relationship with Squirrel. So, crazy. There you go.
Well, they're kind of like they're kind of like Domenic. They're like the older grumpy or the older people. I was gonna say
now you're offending Square, Jay, or Squirrel.
Squirrel. No. This is a problem. We both start, guys. We both start with this.
I was gonna say they're like Domenic. They're older and wiser. But then,
it's true. They've been around. They get it.
They've been around. They get it, right? We respect our elders.
That's it.
Yeah. Anyways, I want to thank you. It's been a complete blast. We love Square, and you know what? Everyone, please go check them out. If you don't use Square, you suck. So that's the way you do it.
If you don't use Square yet, come talk to us. Square.ca. I got an awesome team, and we will give you time back. We will help make your business more efficient. You don't have to do it all at once. You can do it bit by bit. We will help you with that as well.
Karisa will teach you how to go on a beach.
To enjoy your life.
Exactly. Yeah. She'll teach you how to go to beaches.
Next Food Service and Hospitality Expo in Calgary, September 8th and 9th, Jay. Shameless plug for next. But Square's going to be there.
We will be there.
I think Square's going to be there with some of their partners as well. So that's kind of cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
They'll be right there beside Domenic while he's washing cars.
Yes.
No,
we'll be eating popcorn and just watching it happen.
Exactly. Watch it happen. All righty. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks
all the best.
Thank you
to everyone else. Thanks so much for joining. And Dom will wrap this up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't blow it so much.
Yeah, cool company.
Great company.
I like what they're doing.
Well, I think it goes back to management. You got cool people. You got great managers, great leaders.
It's a great place to work too. So, I think to the people over at Square when they're listening down in San Francisco, if you implement Karisa's idea, we only want 2% of it. She wants 2%, and
we'll take 2.
Yeah, it'll be good.
It's a great idea. That's actually almost better.
A really good idea.
It's almost better than my marketing idea. Almost.
It's better than your marketing. Your marketing idea is good, Jay. It's a good commercial. I think it'd be fun and funny. back to the restaurants. Get out there, investigate the tech, because there's many tech innovations that are out there like Square that will make your life easier. And it's not what you think it is from an expense perspective. It's not, to Carisa's point, in their case, they're going to come in and put it in for you. Right?
Got another marketing idea.
So
anyways, all right. Well, I won't even say it. So anyways, let's wrap this up, Tom. All the best. Have a great
Thanks,
evening. Cheers.